again, if I've called your name, you may come to the podium in any order. I'll ask you to please state your name for the audio record.
I'm Sharon McKeeman. I'm a mom of 4, a military wife, and the founder of Let Them Breathe. I'm here today to speak about human rights. People have said we need larger numbers, passionate speakers, a clear representation of the science. They are wrong, because we have those things and things are getting worse. What we need is you sitting in those seats to do what is right. By right, I don't mean a certain theology or partisan ideal. I mean honor our inalienable human rights that we are entitled to simply because we are human beings, regardless of our age, ethnicity, location, gender, ability, vaccination status, or any other criteria. These human rights are protected by law, and they are applicable everywhere and at every time. Even when a governor proclaims an emergency order, they are both positive and negative rights, which means they require both action and inaction on your part. That inaction involves being left alone to choose as we see fit what goes on our bodies and in our bodies. Every human being is obliged to respect these rights, no matter your title, your party, your union affiliation. Let's be real. These speeches are largely symbolic. We know Supervisors Desmond and Anderson stand for freedom. We know Vargas, Fletcher, and Lawson Reamer, your alliance lies to party and union agendas. However, the Constitution is powerful and active. It protects us from cruel and unusual punishment. There has been no due process, so we cannot undergo punishment from you. And yet our children and those who are working hard to provide are being subjected to masking and invasive procedures against their will. If a hand was forced across a child's mouth, it would be obvious that was abuse. Shame and intimidation keeps masks on our children. How can that be less abusive than a hand? I've still got 3 seconds, sorry. If America violates our human rights, if America is not free, then what hope do we have? It doesn't matter what your party tells you. Time will judge you. Be on the right side of history.
My name is Jeff, and I have 2 teenagers I'm trying to keep alive through this genocidal scam you all are running. All of you, each of you board members, need to step down or be fired. You've done a horrible job.
Come on. Yeah.
You all realize this coronavirus has still never been isolated, right?
Come on.
Never.
Yeah.
This entire scamdemic house of cards is built on the number of cases. And the number of cases is the result of a completely faulty PCR test, which has up to 97% false positives. A positive test means absolutely nothing, and therefore neither does the number of cases, Jim. Supposedly, we've been in this horrific pandemic, yet the overall number of deaths in the U.S. for 2020 was no different than any prior year. The flu just mysteriously disappeared, and every type of death under the sun was fraudulently called a COVID death. The purposeful rollout of COVID was simply about getting the misinformed general public to not only accept but to scare them into begging for this experimental gene therapy being deceptively called a vaccine. They're not vaccines, they're only named as such so that the makers can avoid accountability.
Come on.
It's horseshit. These shots are not FDA approved. They only have EUA. And they only got that emergency use authorization because we're in this big scary pandemic, right? What a joke. The PCR test is a farce. Thus, the whole house of cards collapses. There is no emergency. You guys need to call an end to it immediately. Oh, but then you wouldn't get your fraudulent federal dollars, right? Dirty to the core. We have over 12,000 reported deaths in the U.S. alone from these shots. 12,000. All of this related death has been completely unnecessary. The meds that clearly work, hydroxy, ivermectin, hospital protocol has been killing people.
Thank you, sir. Your time is up.
You're welcome. You should
Well done.
Well done.
Hello, my name is Kay Bree. I'm a 16
18-year-old junior in high school. This ridiculous pandemic that you all are forcing upon the public has turned my life upside down. I was playing high-end travel volleyball. I had to quit that because the clowns running the league followed the stupid rules that you guys put out. Yeah. Wearing a mask while playing volleyball? What could be more ignorant and unhealthy? Yeah. I also wasted a whole year on Zoom school. What a joke. What a waste of time. I learned nothing, by the way. By now you all know masks do nothing positive health related at all. They don't filter out viruses. It even says so on the box of masks. All they do is make people breathe in less oxygen and rebreathe their toxic exhaust. Yep. You all know that, but you don't care. You just want control. It's sick. It's disgusting.
Take off your mask.
Each and every one of you should be ashamed of yourselves. Yeah. God is not happy with you. I can guarantee you that.
Yes.
Yeah. You also know these injections are not vaccines. You are actively engaged in fooling people into thinking that they are. Do you know how many of my friends and family have fallen for your evil deception? My own Nana got the injection. She threw a blood clot like many others. It caused her to have a heart attack, fall to bed, and lay there for 3 days. We still don't know if she'll recover. So many of my teenage friends have fallen for it too. It's so sad. What are all these jabbed up people going to do when the cold and flu season hits? When their bodies go into cytokine storm? Just exactly as these shots intended. You're going to get a big chunk of your desired depopulation, aren't you? You'll be answering to God for this. You'll be sitting before a Nuremberg trial before that.
My name is Allison Smith, and I'm standing up for the Constitution of the United States. 234 years ago, our Constitution was written to establish a new society based on the ideal of freedom, and we are blessed to live here today. There are several key phrases in the preamble that hold significant meaning, yet have been disregarded over the last year and a half. To start, this document begins with "We the people of the United States," not we the CDC, we the bureaucrats, we the school board, but we the people. Our sovereignty has been expropriated since the instatement of lockdowns and mandates, and it is only worsening over time. Another important phrase of this document is "ensure domestic tranquility." Some form of turmoil will always exist in our world. However, it is vital that we as a free nation are given the ability to have peace within a state of chaos. Many can agree that these times have been the most unsettling we have seen in our lifetime. We cannot have this peace if our voices are silenced and our liberties repressed by the directives of authoritarians. Domestic tranquility cannot exist if we the people and our children are being coerced to continually cover our faces with masks and inject experimental vaccines into our bodies against our will. I respect everyone that has chosen to get the vaccine or wear a mask, and it should remain exactly that, a choice. Last and certainly not least is secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. This means us, the people of the United States, as well as our children who are the future of this country. Our children are now growing up having a distorted idea of what freedom and liberty is. It is child abuse. It is indecent to us all to be deprived of breathing freely, exchanging smiles, gathering with loved ones, having bodily autonomy, and earning a quality education. We will never flourish as a society if we continue to live in a biomedical security state. If this persists, we will be allowing a small group of tyrannical bureaucracies to permanently have large amounts of unchecked power. I challenge you to consider the long-term consequences of letting fear dictate our lives, and to do what is just by following the supreme law of the land, which has allowed America to be the epitome of freedom and the greatest country on earth. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Corbin Sable, and I would like to deliver a message to 3 groups of people, either in this room or listening elsewhere. The politicians, law enforcement, and my fellow Americans. To the politicians, we, the people, are fed up with your hateful tactics that spread fear and division among the people. Fed up with your lies and watching you enrich yourselves off the backs of the American people while we struggle. We are uniting and waking up to your reign of terror and destruction you've brought upon our country to pursue a life of power and profits. To law enforcement, politicians who impose a mandate on the people, such as being injected with an experimental drug in exchange for freedom or equal access to society, have betrayed the people and should be treated as the criminal tyrants they are. Their orders should carry no weight and should fall on deaf ears. But if you comply with their orders, you will be responsible for turning America from the free country that we love to that of totalitarianism. Do not let them threaten you. Do not turn your back on the people and bend your knee to the tyrants. Rather, I ask you to be courageous and brave. Remember the oath you swore to uphold, and remember where your allegiances lie. Stand strong and stand united within your community, and join we the people in our fight to preserve liberty and undo the destruction done to our nation by the tyrants. Our arms are wide open, and we will always have your back if you have ours. Finally, to my fellow Americans, make no mistake, tyranny is here, and the responsibility to push back against tyranny and reclaim our freedom is ours alone, because no one is coming to save us. It is time to empower our voices, cast aside our labels, embrace our fellow Americans with love, and reject the fear that has soiled our hearts, as fear is the greatest ally of tyranny. Together, we will unite, stronger than ever before, to counter the greatest threat to our liberties and ability to self-govern, which are the tyrants that have too much power. So, my fellow Americans, will you stay silent, comply out of fear, and be a slave? Or will you speak up and resist the rule of the tyrant so we may reclaim our power and live free? The choice is yours, and the fate of our country is in your hands.